Senator Wardner in the building today, and the senator did retire a few years back, but North Dakota is still so near and dear and important to him that he came out to talk to everybody who has questions about the property tax elimination proposal. So if you have questions and you want to talk one-on-one, come out and visit with the senator. There's a couple other people here as well, Tom Wheeler with the Township Association and Brent Bogar, who supports a lot of the work that the state does in terms of policy and that sort of thing. So, Senator, what can you share with people that they really need to know about the property tax elimination proposal?
Well, first of all, and the proponents of the measure, always talk about how much money the state has and how they're wasting money. The state is wasting money, and they really dwell upon a number right here, this 19.6 billion. That's the number they will tell you about, and they make people say, well, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, and it's true. The state of North Dakota does spend 19.6 billion, but that's a 2-year budget. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that it's a 2-year budget. The other thing they don't tell you is, see this federal dollars right here? They don't qualify. They don't qualify for property tax relief. And then I would like to go to, so that's off. So when we call that fact number one. And fact number one is that when you take off the federal dollars, now all of a sudden we're at 13.4 billion. And again, that's a 2-year money. All right, so we're down to 13.4 from 19.6. Then I think it's important that we talk about the state of North Dakota. The legislature is very generous to the political subs. $5.5 billion go back out to political subs. And when you take that off, you can see we're down to 7.9. Oh, but wait a minute. People will say, well, there's waste in that money that goes to the political subs. Well, let's take a look. What does go to the political subs? Well, if you look at this, there is 6 areas, and that makes up about 80% of the 5.5 monies that go back to political subs. Look at the first one. Believe it or not, the state does $1.8 billion tax relief. And this started in 2013 when we took over 115 mills from the school districts and the state paid for it. So that's the big one. But there's other things that we took over county social services. Another one. So that's not waste. Number 2 is the Resources Trust Fund. Well, that comes from our oil extraction tax, and that is for water. I remember when this community right here in Watford City didn't have water, and they got it just in time for the oil boom. If you take that money away, there will be a war, because there's a lot of people want water money and still have a lot of water projects. That's not waste. The next one is the Common Schools Trust. That goes to education. That's earnings from that. 510 million is earnings from the Common Schools Trust Fund that helps keep property taxes low, coming from the state to school districts. And then we have the in lieu of property tax from the gross production tax out here. It goes into the state and comes back out to the counties, cities, schools, townships, and you can see that's 682 million. If we lose that, and we are putting it at risk, if the state of North Dakota passes this to eliminate property tax, I will tell you, the other parts of the state are going to want this money, and we're going to lose it.
So, and the other parts of the state are already getting this money, so they're going to lose it too.
Only the oil counties get this. But they already said, remember the prairie dog?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The prairie dog was to make sure they left us alone. That's why the prairie dog money, and they're talking about the prairie dog money, they want to get that out of there and use it for property tax relief. The other 2 are distributions from fuel tax and the 1-cent sales tax. and that goes back out to political subs. There is no waste there, folks. None. All right, let's go to the next fact. A lot of people forget that there's $2 billion in the budget that comes from the university system, tuition and fees. It's only on the books, but it's in there, and it's used in the 19.6. So we have to let you know that you take that $2 billion out of there, and now all of a sudden we're down to a number. Oops. Go back here. Oh, there. I took the $2 billion out. We're down to $5.9 billion. Now that's a long ways from 19.6, and that's still 2 years. Now there are some other things that people forget. Special funds. What are special funds? Well, your game and fish when you go hunting, your fees, your licenses, so forth. You can't use those for property tax relief. They're for hunting programs. So that takes it down another $500 million, $500 million. And I'll tell you, there's more, but I didn't put them in there. The point is, here we are. We're down to, per year, 2.7, 5.4 billion for 2 years, 2.7. That's what's left on the table. And the big thing that people will say to you, well, you got all the money. This is what they tell you. The state's got all that money. Let's take a look at this. 17.1 is constitutional funds. It has to go on the ballot. And then you've got 5.3 in retirement funds. Then you've got 1.8 that's dedicated, and another $500 million or 500 million that could go to property tax relief. So that's just a summary. I could go through the rest of them, but the state does not have the money. And where's it going to come from? I already mentioned gross production tax. They would take that. And a lot of times people talk about, well, they had all that money last session. Well, in the 21 session, we used federal money to supplant state money. So that money built up. So this one time, they had a lot of money in the beginning balance. It won't be there in the future. It's federal, because of the federal dollars, we were able to save up state dollars. It won't be there when we go forward.
So, Senator, essentially, the devil is in the details.
Correct.
And to make a good decision on the elimination, you need to know the details.
You've got it.
And so people can come out here and talk to you about the details more if they have more questions.
That's right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for taking on this educational session that we all need as North Dakotans.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Rich.